Hello folks, Sinow here, your new home for everything Resident Evil Resistance, and I'm really happy today to bring you a new Infection Alex deck for you using Epidemic again as their passive. This is probably my favorite way to play Mastermind, so I'm really happy that I've managed to find a way of playing this after the latest prison update that I feel works kind of fairly effectively. Alex has had a bit of a rough time lately. Who am I kidding? Not lately. Alex has had a bit of a rough time every single time they update this game. She seems to inadvertently get nerfed. Two things that have impacted her recently are they've made it so that mines now have a minimum amount of time before they become activated. You can't make mines explode instantly anymore. And they've also made it so that infection zombies no longer deal increased infection damage with the normal attacks compared to normal zombies. The only difference that infectious zombies have is like the ring of poison around them, which poisons survivors when they stand in it. Regardless, we're using Epidemic in this build to play upon this ring of poison and to kind of create hordes that they cannot escape from easily, the survivors, without being infected, to try and get rid of their time as much as possible. After the latest hotfix, using normal zombie, infectious, crawling zombie, and jester is even better than it was before, or should I say just better than it was before, pardon me. And also with Fresh Blood 3, zombies are more likely to grab now, so I quite like playing this deck and I've had some good results with it. I'm going to try a more concise format for going over the skills, equipment, and deck. I'm just going to go over all of it in like one big chunk very quickly, and then I'll point out some notes and some tips about how to play the deck before diving into the game footage. Let me know in the comments if you prefer this more concise format, or if you find it a little bit confusing and too fast, you can also let me know that too in the comments. Okay, let's dive right in. For Bioweapon Yatavale, we're using the passive Verdant. For Biohazard, we're using the passive Epidemic. For Residents of Evil, we're using Trap Efficiency. For Area 2, we're using Virus Mine. For Area 3, we're using Efficiency Mod Infection. For Equipment, we're using Miniature Reactor, Fresh Blood 3, Viral Canister 3, and Viral Canister 2. And for the deck, we're using Normal Zombie, Zombie Infectious, Tough Zombie Infectious, Lockdown Trap, Machine Gun, Crawling Zombie, Jester, Efficiency Mod Creatures, Clone, and Enhancer Energy Leech. So, couple of notes about this deck first and foremost. With Epidemic, you don't need to put all of your zombies in one big cluster for them to become infected. It does have a kind of chain reaction thing where if you have like a couple of zombies and you put one infectious zombie down, it will kind of jump from zombie to zombie if they're within range of each other. But this doesn't necessarily mean they have to be in one big clump, because that makes you very weak and susceptible to grenades and molotovs. So I would say try and space them out a little bit so that the infection jumps between them to reduce the impact that molotovs will have against you from survivors. Speaking of molotovs, unfortunately Yatavale, it dies on like 3 to 4 molotovs at the moment, which is really pathetic for a bioweapon. What a sad state of affairs. Yatavale can still do quite a good job at wasting survivors' time if you put it in front of a security terminal that they need to access in Area 2, for instance. However, if you find that the survivors are packing like a Firelord Valerie and they have a lot of molotovs, you might find that you don't want to feed them the free 15 seconds. In that situation, honestly, you might just not. It might not be worth summoning Yatavale in the first place, just don't use it. For the Virus Mine and Lockdown Trap, you want to put these behind doors and or fight on top of them as much as possible. I find that with the Lockdown Trap, although it makes your Area 3 weaker because it's not very good in most of the Area 3 maps in the game, this build needs to do a lot of time damage in Areas 1 and 2 in order to win. You usually know by the time you get to Area 3 by how much time's left on the clock whether or not you can win the game, if the survivors even get to Area 3, that is. So I think it's worth using Lockdown Trap to make the Area 1 and 2 experience for survivors like as difficult as possible, to try and get rid of as much time before you get to Area 3. And Lockdown Traps work quite well for this because it means survivors can't just run through all of your infection zombies through the map very quickly, and it increases the chances that you have to infect them. Plus it takes off a little bit of time too, and with her passive it only costs 1 to use a Lockdown Trap, so this is brilliant. A big part of the strategy for this deck obviously is trying to poison survivors, but one of the biggest weaknesses that infection-based decks have is characters that can stand back from a distance outside of the poison ring and snipe down your zombies safely. In order to prevent this, we are using Machine Gun, and in order to use Machine Gun, we need a fair amount of energy, so we're using Energy Leech and Miniature Reactor. I don't think Miniature Reactor is actually a lot weaker than it was before. I saw this like Steam post, and I mentioned it in my Nikolai video, that said that Miniature Reactor had been nerfed, and I apologize for saying in the Nikolai video that it wasn't worth using anymore. I hadn't had the chance to test it out myself yet. However, now that I have had the chance to test it out myself, I don't really think Miniature Reactor is that much weaker, if at all, than it was previously, and I think it's still worth using, especially for Alex, who is also the queen of not having enough bioenergy in order to do what she needs to do. We also have Jesters in the deck to help prevent survivors running through your infection hordes very easily without being infected, and also their paralyzing shrieks make it easier to hit people with the machine gun, which is very nice too. Bear in mind that if a Jester shrieks and then you control the Jester, you can also do a second shriek if that is something that you want to do. And with the increased grabbing AI, I guess is the way to describe it, from Fresh Blood 3, I find that Jester shrieks now get capitalized upon by zombies with a grab afterwards a lot more commonly now, so I like using Jesters for this reason. If you really hate Jesters and you don't like using them, my suggestion to replace this would be the Dealer. Control the Dealer, run through Infection, and like do the jumping grab on a survivor to do extra time damage if you so wish, and that can also work sometimes quite well. And yeah, that is the deck in a nutshell. We're using Infection mod here because it reduces the cost of all infection related cards by 3 now, which is a big buff. Remember that this will apply to your Virus Mine, these 2 infectious zombies, and Clone if the clone has cloned one of these infection cards as well. So that's really nice. It means in Area 3 you can replenish your infection hordes quite quickly. And yeah, that's the deck in a nutshell. It's a shame that we have to use 2 mods for it, but it makes your hordes really cheap to replenish. So even if something goes awry and you haven't managed to infect them, you can kind of like get yourself back up to speed in the next area and keep infecting the survivors as much as possible in order to achieve victory. So that's how you do the deck, and let's take it away with some footage so that we can see it in action. Let's go! Who have we got here? Okay, so Samuel can be quite annoying for this deck because it's hard to keep him infected and he plows through your mobs really quickly. Valerie also can get rid of infection in certain moments. The others I'm not as worried about, honestly. As annoying as January is, I think I'll be okay. I'm feeling confident here, alright? Confident gamers. That's what we are today. Okay, it's been a little while since I've played on PC because I've been trying to rank up on PS4 a lot, so I might be a little rusty to start off with.
To assist me with my research.
Maybe like hide the crawling zombie here and then hide another one over here. Keep an eye out for, there's like a kind of chain clanking sound effect now that they've added for when one zombie makes another zombie infectious.
Well, this route would be too easy.
Put the Jester back here so it's safe. Hopefully. Ah, Energy Leech. Good, good, good. Yeah, so the Energy Leech is really nice here for just like making sure that you don't run out.
There's no escape.
I'll leave that zombie for later.
I tremble in fear at your mighty door locking ability, douche.
Here we go. Sometimes the zombies like to just kind of stroll away for a while. It's hard to prevent that, honestly. Yeah, so they're gonna just like ping down this zombie from afar here, but I'm not too bothered by that, honestly.
If you can.
Being very careful to take out the mine.
I'll have
A Samuel that understands what mines are is not good for me.
Oh, my birds. The cage has found you.
But because of the Energy Leech and stuff, we can like replenish our stocks really nicely. So it looks like Jill is going back to get another blue herb. Comes Valerie.
I'm surprised at you. Aren't our eyes made to be
I'll just grab her because she's by herself.
And hearts for the same purpose.
Put another infectious zombie in here. She stood in the lockdown trap, which is great for me because she can't escape now, so she's gonna get poisoned. Double grab. Nice. So they're both pretty infected. They're going through the other room though, so let's see if I can lock this door.
How did it take you so long to get that?
Yep, that's locked.
I will hunt and destroy you.
Okay, that didn't really work out very well there. I think I summoned a little bit too much, so they have a lot of time still. Samuel's just difficult for this build to deal with.
Initiating the next test phase.
But it ain't over yet, folks. Telling you now. Okay, so we'll set up this room. Put energy leech here. Let's bounce. So here's my boy Yorick.
Unlike you, they feel no fear.
Try and hide a little lockdown trap. Just behind this guy. And then we'll move him.
The bliss of murder. The relief. The soaring ecstasy.
Okay, so they're going into that room for the time being, which is fine with me. That's the whole point of the room, right? Yeah, they lost tons of time all of a sudden there. You see that? Being hacked?
But it
Too
won't
slow.
save you.
She's quite on the ball this January. Okay. More locked doors. As with a lot of infection-based playstyles, sometimes it's better to kind of let the time tick down and not summon too much.
Died or die.
The bliss of murder. The relief.
I find on PC they're a lot better at finding traps. On PS4 they have a tendency to stumble into the traps way more, in my opinion. But on PC it's like a lot easier for survivors to shoot out traps, and that can be quite frustrating. One reason why I'm not a huge fan of them.
You're already dead.
So we don't want to set up too much in this room. I am going to use Yataveo. We'll have to come back here at one point, right? So just set up a camera.
There's gotta be something useful here.
I don't have a lot of time. Just try and waste their time with Yataveo, I think.
Witness our
Because they're quite poisoned as well, which is
latest
nice.
bioweapon.
Unfortunately, Yorick has decided to run to the front, as per usual. Well, at least he got a grab. Great. Hang on, this is going...
Take the key.
This is going very badly for me.
Other challenges
Oh,
for
fuck.
you.
Well, there goes Yataveo. I guess it can, like, protect the supply zombie.
I will crush you.
I need to make sure I, like, slow them down as
Destroying
much as
your
possible
hope
here.
is part of the test.
Can't hit me.
Fear can blind you.
Just so they don't blow up themselves.
Aren't our eyes made to be torn out? And hearts for
Cough
the
there from
same
Valerie. Let's go for her
purpose?
if we can. She's nearly down. Yeah. It's a shame she didn't actually go down there because I couldn't finish the animation, but there you go.
That's not what I expected.
Oh, stupid Yorick running out of that room. Oh, that's so frustrating. Bit of hams.
Oh, predictable.
She's locked herself in there. Okay, I did about as much as I could there.
They will tear the flesh from your bones. With this strength, your fate
Hopefully I can
is
just,
sealed.
yeah, infect them a little bit here. That's what my plan is. Like, these zombies are going to die and give them 5 seconds, but I want them to be infected. So you see they're kind of beginning to run out of time a little bit here more. And with all of the mines, the lockdown traps and stuff going off, it's just been a little bit slow for them to get through the areas. Give these two enhancer. I've only got one jester in here. I don't really want to enhance like a single jester and a crawler, right? That's kind of rubbish. Hear that little chain sound again? I think the Samuel's lagging a bit. His movement is erratic, so he's probably not playing at like
I will
optimal
hunt and
efficiency.
destroy you.
To be honest with you, that was unfortunate. Oh, he got grabbed though. Oh no, he got screamed at.
I only put this here to give you false hope.
Okay, we couldn't get it off in time. They managed to come back.
Can't hit me.
Yeah, he's definitely lagging. That's a shame for him.
Data is intriguing.
2 down with the machine gun though. The machine gun is still really good.
It's all right.
I think I used that
The
too early
cage
there.
is closing around you.
But they're running out of time now.
Healing over here.
Oh, I can't aim down any further. That's a frustrating experience. There you go. Phew.
Checking. Not even.
That was a tough one. See if I get lucky.
Typically, I wouldn't step in like this, but it's
Nope.
just so much fun.
Keep locking the door. Well, there goes the trap. Yeah. That rocket's gonna make sure that they get through to the next area. Make sure she doesn't shoot out my camera for time. See if I can just get a little bit more energy, perhaps. I probably won't. Nah. It's not gonna work.
With this strength,
I'm doing well,
your
though. Like, I
fate
could
is
definitely win this
sealed.
one. 100%. Oh, actually. This is risky.
We've been growing something special for moments just
Yes.
such as these. Enjoy.
Oh, this might actually win me the game right now.
Even with low
That could have
expectations, I'm
really not worked out there, so I'm
I
glad it
barely learned
did.
anything here.
I'm not gonna give them any zombies to attack here. Because look how much time I have left in Yativeo. She's probably buying Molotovs, unfortunately. Gotcha. If you bought Molotovs, you're not gonna be able to use them now. That's game. Grenades won't work like that, sorry.
Hope, an infinite amount of hope, but not for you.
Okay. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to get through this area with 1 minute 30. No way. They may have had a chance before, but this is not enough.
Reach for the sun, unaware that the fire will burn them to ashes.
Also, thankfully, we got like a decent core spawn here. If they had something like a Becca, I'd have to be very careful. But they don't. Can I control this zombie, maybe?
I want to witness the fear in your eyes.
Oh, I forgot I had a liquor in this preset. Oh, yeah. I totally forgot I had liquors in this preset, but it's not the worst thing in the world. They're kind of weak to Molotovs these days, unfortunately. Yeah, they're still going, and they've lost tons of time from a trap there as well. That's it. As long as they don't, like, shoot out cameras or anything.
This is your final chance.
Or they kill that liquor perhaps now? Oh, looks like they're not going to. Oh, they did! Oh, no way!
Hurry, the end is near.
Wow, they're
Haste
really
fills
hanging on
your
for dear
blood with
life.
Such promising molecules.
She's probably gonna run into those traps because she's rushing. And I can't shoot her because she's behind a little beam there. There we go. She's dead.
Pass this data.
She needs the bullet things, guys!
Fear to control you.
Bless this Jill, she's really trying here. There you go.
That's not surprising.
So, yeah, that was actually not a bad first game to kind of show you the build in action. I maybe fed them a little bit too much in Area 1, I would say.
But my research is incomplete.
And you do need to be careful
Let
not
us
to
run
summon
this
too
study
much
again.
over and over and just feed them time. But because now normal zombies only give them 5 seconds, they're a lot more economical than they used to be, which is a really, really nice little buff for this build. Hooray. So there we have it, a new Infection Epidemic deck for Alex. I hope that if you decide to use it yourself that you also have some success with it. Thanks very much for watching. This has been Sinow. Take care and goodbye.